downtown Bowen Hall, Princeton University. Find a seat. Find a seat. Great. We're starting on time for a change. I know it's different. All right. Any new faces in the crowd? I see new faces. Yes. Who are you, sir?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you. Stand up. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Shane. How are you?
All right. Tell us about yourself, Tom. Why are you here?
Well, I've always been a fanatic for the 45 players. And then I was at the repair clinic. I found my best friend, Kevin. I bought Phil's book, and I read it back and forth every night, you know, so I said, I wish I could find someone to help me fix this. I found him, so
Great. And Phil he couldn't make it. He was down south, but good chance you'll meet him at the next meeting. So I'm sure he'll look forward to you as a fan of his book. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to the club.
He sent me.
Good.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else? Another face? Yes, sir. Who are you?
Yeah, my name is John Cawthorn. I live over in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. I've known Al for like 15 years. Yeah, since Stone was created or something, and just happened to hear they were having a meeting. And I have some interest in radio. I'm an amateur radio operator, and I like to build modern equipment. And I build reproductions of old regens sometimes. Although I haven't done it for about 4 years, but so I mess around with old radios and stuff. So it'll be interesting to come and see.
Well, that's great. Happy to have you, John. And perhaps after you see what we do and what we're about, you'll become a member too.
Oh,
We're always searching for members. It's like that. Anybody else? Any other new faces? Do you know everybody? Well, all right, Fred. You don't come to meetings, but it's nice to see you. But you've been a club member for a long time. Right?
Yeah, I have. Fred War, I'm an amateur radio operator also, and work on old radios and phones and clocks and all kinds of stuff. So I have a good interest, but it's kind of far away from me, and I'm just reasonably newly retired, so now I have time to come here.
Great, great. And Fair Lawn is your club?
Yeah, Fair Lawn Amateur Radio Club. My call sign is W2ABE.
Okay, I think we may be almost half of us as hands right now. And as our events occur, we are designated ARRL events. So you see us in QST and on the calendar.
Right. I'm also a member of Frankfurt Radio Club, FRC. It's a contesting club.
Oh, okay.
So it's part of my things that I do. So I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
Happy to have you. And thanks for bringing the manuals outside too. Thank you very much. Okay, that's it. All right, good. Infirmary reports. I have absolutely nothing for infirmary reporting. That's wonderful. And as living proof, we even have Rick here this evening because I'm always lamenting about Rick. So thank you very much, Rick. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine.
Good here.
Being here is everything.
All right, great. Very good. Okay. Again, anybody else have knowledge of anybody that's who should be on the infirmary report? Let me know. All right, let's go on to old business. July was a busy month. How many attended the Scars Hamfest up in Sussex County Fairgrounds, July 15th? I couldn't make it because it rained. At least it rained by me, and therefore I thought it was raining up there, and it sure as hell, I understand it didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't.
It did, but the timing was good.
Bob, you had a comment?
No, not necessarily, but I noticed that video got over 600 hits, so I think a lot of people that didn't go probably looked at that video and says, "Mean they still ran the thing?" You know, because they probably, it was like you, wherever they were at probably rained, and they just threw up their hands and said, "Well, I'm not going."
Yeah.
They missed out.
It rained all
But
morning.
they still had a heck of a turnout.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as big as it was last year, but it was still sizable. Yeah.
All right, any other comments about Scars? I think it was their 40th anniversary too. It was a big deal for them this year. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then came Saturday, July 21st, our annual tailgate Hamfest on the grounds of InfoAge. As always, Senor Marconi, he smiled down on us, and there was no rain until that late afternoon evening. So, he always takes care of us. It's absolutely amazing. And it was the weather, people didn't want to leave because it was a balmy weather, not like we've had for the last 5 days, but nice breeze, people walking around with sweaters on. It was
She
amazing.
was cold, she thought it was the winter time out there. I said, it's July, take it.
Yeah. Vendors, who were vending? How many people were vending? Okay, so what was the consensus? Pete?
Best one I ever had there.
That's what we want to hear, Pete. That's the best.
Sold more stuff than I ever sold.
So you don't even have to go to Kutztown anymore.
Oh, well, or as PV on the Great Gildersleeve used to say, well, no, I wouldn't say that.
How'd you do, Ray?
I did good for what I brought, yeah, I was happy.
Tom?
Good.
Good, no negativity, I like that, very good. I was vending too, and I did very well, yeah, it's good. The amount of vendors, because we are designated ham event, you see the hams show up. You saw Leo show up in his panel truck, that was amazing. And that other fellow, I'm sorry, I forget his name, came with one of those big step vans, Mercedes step vans, and he piled out stuff. So it is growing, that's great. We never used to do more than 20 vendors, and we're doing better now. And yeah, the word's out. And on top of that, we had some press coverage. If you see the article out there, take a copy. It was very nice. A woman called me up and gave a interview over the phone, and you saw a guy going around taking some pics. And it was in the Co-Star that Thursday, following Thursday. Now, the following Thursday, well, guess what? We'd like to have it in the previous Thursday of our next event. So I've taken her information, and I will be in touch with her next year, next July, so that we can get somebody in there and in the newspaper beforehand. So get more civilians out at our Hamfest and tailgate. Okay, let's see. All right, so the next we had was July 28th. That was a Saturday meeting event that we had at the Marconi Hotel. And Jules, Tom Settigren, myself, cameraman Dave Sika, who's not here this evening, and Ray Chase attended the Interwage 2018 Award Dinner Reception. Ray Chase presented the Wall of Honor plaque to the daughter of Dr. Harold Webb, as pictured in this month's broadcast. Unfortunately, Marvin's not here neither. Ray, you want to say a few words about that?
Well, one thing I wanted to have in the broadcast was, I met Diana Webb about 2 or 3 years ago, because she lives in Florida now, and she came by to see where her father worked. And so I met her, and she sent me some information. She was very passionate about learning what her father had done there. As you may know, the Army moon bounce occurred on January 1946, where they first proved that you could send radio waves through the ionosphere. She was born that month. So, and the project was called Project Diana, so naturally he named his daughter Diana. So she's the Diana lady. And she goes by the name Diana Webb. So she's a wonderful woman. And interesting thing here, they lived for many years in New Mexico because her husband worked at Los Alamos.
Oh, wow.
And his career was building nuclear reactors for spacecraft.
Oh.
So really interesting person. Of course, you don't get any callbacks from if the reactor doesn't work in space. So, you know, that's a nice job. So very interesting. I was happy to be there and participate.
Yeah, it's great. And also her name, Diana, is also Greek for moon, so that is
Yeah.
tied into that also. Thank you. Also that evening, they had the unveiling of the restored Marconi portrait, which you're actually supposed to say the conserved Marconi portrait. So when next time down at Infowage, check it out. It's back in the Marconi, it's in the hotel, right? The dining room.
It's hung back where it was in the entrance lobby.
Entrance lobby, okay, all right. And boy, what a, you know, when they clean a portrait, when they take the varnish off, the dirt and everything, and the smoke, you know, the nicotine and all, just comes to life. It's amazing. In the picture again, you saw it in the broadcaster. So next time down in InfoAge, you know, take a look at it. It's great. All right, next. All right, last Saturday we had our summer repair clinic at NJARC. It was a bit summer light. All right, a lot of experts were away, summertime, having fun. That's okay. And but yet we still had, as usual, word of mouth clients coming off the street. And there was one client that came off the street from the article that was written, because I also mentioned when I did the review with the reporter that was upcoming that Saturday. So somebody did come in off the street from that article in the Ghost Star, so that was always good. And from that, our repair clinic, we got Tommy as a new member. Welcome again. And we also got a very nice donation from a civilian too, which it's always nice to have that. You know, somebody giving us a little bit of cash. That's nice. It's very nice. And thank you, Bob, for enabling us to have that too. Okay. All right. Any other comments on our repair clinic? No? Nothing? Like I said, we're kind of light, but we had a good time. We had a good time. That's all right. All right. All right. Any other old business? Anything else? Anything I'm missing? Old business, not new, old. Okay. All right, new business. I received this flyer in the mail. I don't know if anybody else got it. Kind of interesting. It's from the, not Murphy Auctions, the Morphy Auctions, M-O-R-P-H-Y. And it's out of Denver, Pennsylvania. Which I had to look it up. I didn't know where the hell it was.
Well,
Turnpike in Adamstown.
That's the center of the antiques.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
The other managers.
Yeah. And it's going to be an auction of the Ron Frisbee Radio Museum. First I thought it was at the museum, but it's going to be the museum itself being auctioned off. This important radio museum includes early wireless and broadcast era radios and equipment, speakers, red tubes, crystal sets, spark transmitters, early historic super heterodynes, and a recreation of the Titanic wireless room using authentic Marconi apparatus. Also included are audio tubes, radio books, magazines, and paper. So, so who else got it?
I
got it.
Okay, so we got.
I don't know whose mailing list they caught.
It's funny you say that, but you know what? Did you look where the postmark's from?
Rochester.
Rochester.
Oh.
Rochester. I wonder if it has something to do with AWA.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I can tell you something about that.
Go ahead.
I ordered the catalog. John Dilks sent out a link. It's a 2-day auction, and there's a lot of things other than radios. The radios are on Friday.
It's the 29th and 30th
Right.
of August,
Right.
9 a.m.
They had that beautiful 4-color thing, and they didn't tell you how to get to the catalog material on the web.
Wow.
The catalog will cost you $50.
Yeah, you can look at it.
This is a first-class auction house. I've ordered the catalog. I thought it would be here by now. But there are 50 pages. The catalog's like 350 pages. And 50 pages are on Frisbee's radio collection.
I'm sorry, have you ever been to this museum?
I have not been. Maybe Dave, have you been?
I haven't been there, but I know people that have been there. It's beyond belief.
It's
That's the
not.
first time I've ever heard of it.
No, I know Ron. I met Ron up at the AWA meet years and years ago, and I knew about his collection.
Now, they're selling individual things, but a lot of stuff is going in lots. Because if they sold every piece by piece, it would take a week. So there are, you know, for example, there's a whole table full of brass-based tubes as one lot. There's a Marconi receiver, there's a Marconi Maggie, if you know what a Maggie is. That's the magnetic detector, typically goes for about $25,000. I took a quick glance at what was on the internet, on the page that Bill showed, and I would estimate that that auction will gross at least $200,000. And I plan to go and not buying it.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, there's some amazing stuff here, but if only like 5 of us got this.
In addition, there's a 23% buyer
Get
premium.
out of here.
23?
You get 20% of your pay cash.
Oh, well, in that case.
They sell Picasso's and Louisiana.
This is the kind of auction house you probably should wear a tux to.
In Denver, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right off the turnpike, right off
Yeah.
that's in the turnpike.
Rich, I buy their cop cars.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
I buy Denver's cop cars.
All right, so it's a known place then. If
It's
you've been
well-
there, Pete, then it's
It's
a
well
known
known
place.
to antique collectors.
Right off the turnpike.
I never even knew there was a
I'll,
Denver, Pennsylvania.
I'll put the link out on Reflect.
All right, which is-
I thought maybe you were being cagey with it, so I didn't do that.
Okay. All right.
Why'd the museum close? The guy did he pass on? Or
Yes.
did it just,
He died at age 95.
This year, I mean.
I think it was either end of last year or earlier this year. He passed away at age 95.
Okay. All right, great. All right, again, it's August 29th and the 30th, so bring lots of money and 23% buyers. All right, so next, Antique Wireless Convention, AWA, August 14th to the 18th, next Tuesday through Saturday. Now, it's funny, we mentioned a beautiful thing like this, and then of course then we get this in the mail, and it's in, as most of us know, it's in Henrietta, New York. If you read this, I have to read this because it's comical. It never says Henrietta, New York on this. It tells you how to get there, but it doesn't tell you where it is. Mark your calendar for an exciting conference. The 2018 convention will be held at the RIT Conference Center. Take exit 46 of New York State Thruway, I-90 to I-390 North to New York 253 West, and then New York 15 South. The convention dual themes this year are Spark Era and the firsts, first of a kind or first of a series. All right. Visit the Wireless Museum during your special hours, blah, blah, blah. There will be approximately 17 presentations covering every area of communication history. Enjoy shopping for the special buy at the flea market and the book fair. The exhibits shown in the old equipment contest will offer rare historic insight. Finally, you'll never go hungry at the AWA convention. From the welcome dinner on Tuesday night to the award banquet on Friday, enjoy the special food events of the convention. Nowhere on this page does it say Henrietta, New York.
No, but RIT, you can't miss that.
Can't miss it.
Can't miss, yes, you can. It doesn't even say Rochester. I mean, you know.
Anyway.
You know where this stuff is.
All right, I'm gonna ask who's going. Ray, I know you're going to the book fair. Who else, anybody else going?
No.
You, of course you are. And I believe, you're going, Rob? Okay, and I believe, Bill is going.
Bill's going to.
Did you say Bill was going? He was iffy about it.
No, he's going.
He's shipping, okay.
Yeah, Bill is going, Bill Zagorski's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was iffy about it when I talked to him about a month ago about it. And Robert, you going? Okay. You go every year? No. No, okay. All right, I don't mean to be jealous about it, but you know, it's getting smaller. It's a shame, but it's reality. It's reality. Another friend who's going tells me that there's plenty of room at the hotel, which it used to be, you couldn't even get into the hotel, stay at the hotel, at the RIT, you couldn't stay there. You had to go down the road, up on the highway. But now they've got bargain rooms available.
Richard,
Yes.
I'll tell you a story. When it used to be a Canandaigua,
Yeah. Once up there.
everybody marked their calendar on January 1st of the year of the convention. They would rush to call the inn to make sure they got a room
Yeah.
on January 1st.
Yeah. That's how much it's changed. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what they mean by first or first of a kind. But I'm sure when you guys come back, you'll explain it. Okay, member Rob Flory is not here this evening. Posted an interesting upcoming event on the Reflector yesterday, and I'll just read it quickly. It says, join us at the Sarnoff Collection at the College of New Jersey for a pop-up exhibit on the history of radios from the RCA Corporation. The exhibit will feature a large selection of radios and radio-related artifacts from the 1910s to 1980s from the collection, including things not normally on public display. Join the Sarnoff curator for a guided tour of the objects on display and learn about the history behind some of the key innovations in radio technology. Pop-up exhibit opened Wednesday, August 15th, Wednesday, August 22nd, and Sunday, August 26th. A guided tour will be Sunday, August 26th at 1:30 p.m. And that's at the Roscoe West Hall room. So, thank you, Rob Flory, for that. Who is the curator? Anybody know? Dr. Alex would know. That was his competition.
Well, they ended up with Dr. Alex's stuff, is what, you know.
In a way, his stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff from the Sarnoff library.
Where is that exactly? Is that College of New Jersey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there recently.
Is that by you,
But it's
Corbett?
Ewing?
in Ewing?
Yes,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
there. It's usually in the same center where the Old and Trenton Computer Festival, because that's where they got the room, the big auditorium, all the audio visuals,
Yeah.
and lots of segmented rooms, if they're doing it on campus.
Well, the Sarnoff
collection
is in the art department.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
Well, let's make, they're gonna bring it out to what Bruce is saying.
Rich,
Yes.
we went there when they had the talk on the AR-88 RCAs, and that is not easy to find when you get there. No, I mean, we ended up parking somewhere, and I think we walked about 3 blocks before we found the place. And at the time, there was no convenient parking.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
just says
the museum's
Roscoe West
what we're
Hall.
seeing, don't get me wrong, we
Yeah.
went through, well, they had a break during the talk on the AR-88s, and well worth seeing.
How long ago was that?
Last
2
year.
years ago?
About 2 years.
About 2 years ago.
It's a commuter college, and there's no students to ask either.
Yeah, we did ask students, that's
Oh,
how
so
we
We
found
did
it.
ask, students, and today's college students are famous for the blank look.
But they showed, the one showed us how to get there.
But one did show us how to get there.
But it's funny you say that. Once I asked here some directions to a student, and
Me too.
no idea.
Me too, and had not a clue. Not even where Bowen Hall was.
I had fun with that, because I used to have lunch down here when I worked up the road. And I learned campus fairly well, and I was the one that answered all the questions on where things were.
So they'd ask the white hair,
White-haired
thinking that
professor.
you were a professor. Okay, I'm almost done here. Yes, okay. Bob, why don't you step up? All right, I'm gonna start this with my end of it. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call. I was out mowing my lawn, and I got a call. And I looked at my phone, stopped the mower, and looked at the phone, and it's Michigan, designated exchange Michigan, great. I get calls like this all the time. Some people are just looking for, Grandma died, and I have a 1962 Grundig console in my basement, and I'd like to know the value of it. And where do you live? I live in Southampton, New Jersey. you know, what do you think it's worth, you know, that kind of stuff. But I get it from all over the country, actually. So, you know, I try to be amenable to people and help them out a bit, but sometimes it gets, some people just want to talk, So anyway, I get on the phone and I'm not really listening, and I said, hello, I didn't even say my name, hello. And the gentleman said, I'm looking to have a car radio repaired. And I said, well, you're in Michigan, that's going to be a tough one, you know? And he said, well, no, I'm in New Jersey right now. I'm working with my sons on a car, and the radio restored. We can't find anybody. I said, well, you come to the right place, mister. Let me just go inside in the house and I get the particulars for our best auto radio repair guy that we have.
You know why I'm the best? Because I'm the only one.
I didn't want to say it that way.
Any way you get it, they say that. We gotta try to be fair.
So I wrote down Bob's number to him. I was going to email. I said, no, let me just, I'll just tell you over the phone. He went and got a pencil. And he was a very nice fellow. So I think, all right, this is okay. This is not a nonsense call. And so I said, oh, what kind of car radio is it? Oh, it's a Motorola, and he numbered the serial number and what model it was, blah, blah, blah.
708.
708.
Yeah.
All right, so I said, okay, what car is it going into? Just out of curiosity. He said a Tucker. I said, a Tucker? A Tucker car? Yeah, Tucker. Wow, okay, then that piqued my interest, that was for sure. So I said, where is this? Where is it? He says it's in Morganville, New Jersey. I said, oh, okay, great. Wherever that was, I didn't know where it was at the moment. So with that, I said, well, I saw the movie in 1980 with Bo Bridges, I think it was, you know.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff, Bo was the older.
Yes.
So Jeff, I said, yeah, I like that movie, oh, that's great. And now I had been referred, my number was referred to him, well, from him, by Matt. Matt happened to get the first call from this guy. And then Matt sent it over to me. And I said, well, you know, the fellow Matt that you first talked to, he has a DeLorean. And I said, well, oh yeah, he's a big collector too. I said, a lot of guys are into clever collectors. And then he said, oh yeah, DeLorean, that was similar to the story of the Tucker, that the big guy's beating down the little guy and all this, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, that's great. So I said, well, yeah, Bob's going to be really excited, and Bob's a good car collector too. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, the wheels are turning. Man, this is going to be a great YouTube video for Bob too, repairing a Tucker radio. So I get the information for Bob, and I said, listen, mister, I'm sorry, I really didn't catch your name. I was out doing my lawn, and I didn't catch your name when you first called. And he said, oh, my name is John Tucker. I said, what? My name is John Tucker? Yeah, John Tucker. Yeah, I'm the grandson of Princeton Tucker. And I said, okay, no problem. No problem. And here is the rest of the story.
My name is Bob. I'm also a radioholic.
Hi, Bob.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
I take my radios one tube at a time and try to get them working again. I take it that most of you have gotten a reflector and read Marv's story that I submitted. Marv kind of did some touch-ups on it, so you do see Marv. Marv does a great job on that, by the way. So, you know, try to butter him up when you see him and thank him. He did a pretty good job with my story. He did make one mistake, and I'll just show that to you. I have some pictures of him using Al's computer. Apparently this is not a Mac-friendly stand, so Al was kind enough to share his stick. I took the pictures that I brought tonight, and then we're going to show them to you as I'm talking. Some of you folks, like I know Aaron, and there's other people here that are old car people. I'm an old car guy. When you get into or around these kind of people, sometimes you'll hear them talk about these, what they call barn finds. You know, like I remember, I guess I was probably in my mid-20s. I subscribed to Super Chevy magazine. I get the magazine, I open it up, I'm reading this story. Some guy in Nebraska or Kansas or whatever bought this 80-acre farm. It was one of those times where, you know, some of these things you were buying the stuff cheap and they had to sell the farm limits. This guy buys this farm, starts going through everything, and then there was a couple barns that were, you know, outbuildings or whatever on the property. And apparently one barn, there were cows in the barn at one time. So he's going through the barn, he's checking everything out, and here's this big pile of cow manure in one corner of the barn. So he says, well, I could